Welcome to Hands, Heart, and Hustle, where we talk about real growth in life, business, faith, and health. This is the show where we dig deep into the drive, purpose, and passion that fuel everyday people doing extraordinary things. I'm your host, Juan Briseño. Let's get into it. Today's guest lived a life most people don't talk about. Gang influence, street survival, and hard choices. That life took a toll, but it also shaped him. Instead of staying stuck, he chose discipline, fitness, and faith, and turned his pain into purpose. Today, he leads a disciple-style program helping men break through cycles, build strength, and live with direction. This isn't a highlight reel. This is a real conversation about change, accountability, and becoming the man you were meant to be. Hey, man, so first off, Coach G, thank you so much for being here, bro.
Appreciate you, big dog. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, for sure, man. I follow you on Instagram, and I ran into you at the Canelo fight.
Yeah.
Remember that?
What are the odds, man? Yeah, yep.
And I wanted to meet you too, but I didn't think it was gonna be a Canelo fight.
Yeah, because you just live down the street from me, in Riverside, no?
Yeah, right there, Riverside. So pretty close. You live where?
In Ontario, like by Eastvale.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
South Ontario.
Did you bring your Lolo?
No. I was when I said, "Oh man, this is close to my pad."
Yeah.
But yeah, it's too late. I'm not gonna. I don't just leave it out there like that.
Right. So I want to get into some raw and just raw questions and just kind of really get to know you as far as for myself and for the audience that are going to be listening to this podcast.
Yeah.
So let's just start with how was your life growing up?
I mean, like I said before, me growing up, we come from a broken home. A lot of us, that been there, could relate. I was born in Mexico. I came to the United States at 4 years old. My mom went and picked me up, which I didn't know she was my mother until she picked me up. I thought my grandma was my mom and my grandparents. They raised me for the first years. Once I was born, my mom came to the United States to, for a better life, which the American dream, better yourself. But she made her, she found her husband here, and obviously they had a kid, which is my stepbrother. And then, when they went back and picked me up, I had a brother, I came into a family. So we moved in to Baldwin Park. That's my stomping grounds. That's where I grew up. Mm-hmm. And pretty much, it was a household of a lot of, in and out, for the people that haven't heard my story, it was like an in and out pad where all the people that crossed the border, the immigrants will go to that pad, which it was family members or friends. They'll kick it there, pay their dues, for, being, for crossing over. And
the coyote.
Yeah, the coyote, and then they hit the states,
right.
Washington, New York, wherever they had family at, So that pad was always like, in and out. There was a lot of, families there. There's a lot of drinking, a lot of hardworking men, but they didn't have no guidance. They didn't have no rite of passage. They're hard workers, But with that comes like, entitlement of like relaxing, and how do, us, Mexican, our culture, how do we cope with, like pain that we're dealing with? It's the alcohol. The alcohol's there. It numbs you, whether you had a hard day at work, whether, you were being, bossed around, mistreated at work. There's a lot of shit that, behind the scenes that go on out there. And, they coped and they masked the pain with alcohol pretty much,
So you saw
all
that?
that stress. Yeah, I seen all that, growing up. And like I said, the house was, stop and go. So there was a lot of movement, a lot of just, man, all they did was just kick back, played cards, drink. And I see a lot of, just problems with couples, because there was a few family there that had, a small family, and then they head out. But alcohol, I always seen it as a problem,
Yeah. So you saw that as an example growing up, and you thought that was the normal.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was the thing to do, So it's just learned behavior, We picked that up from whoever raised us and whoever. Our environment, that was our environment, just going to work and drink, pretty much like robots, that's how I seen it, But then, in the other side of the house, which the neighbors, there was a lot of movement too, a lot of traffic. But that side was like the spot, the homies, ballers, obviously, moving some weight, doing some illegal activities going on there, But that side was more attractive, They had the cars, they had the image, they had the respect, they walked differently, So what do you think that I was gravitating towards? A lot of problems and issues, broken people, mentally, physically, spiritually, or over here still, masking a lot of areas in life, but they were living it up,
Yeah.
I didn't know what was behind, all the cars and that lifestyle and, everybody, just, being on point, well dressed, always in a good mood, probably high, but that's pretty much what I seen. I was seeing both sides, and, that's what pulled me, especially because I didn't get the attention here. I didn't get the, men always, they seek some type of acceptance, as we're growing up. Even as a child, you want to feel accepted. Yeah, that's the key right there, And when you're going, down that path, you run into other individuals that, feel the same way, and that's when we start a little group, a little crew. We come from broken families that, they don't have the resources and the tools to help you out, to better themselves, and then pass it on to you. They're just doing their best with what they know, what they've been taught.
Right.
It's just passed down. That's it. The cycle continues.
So talk about that. How was it growing up in that neighborhood? Once you gravitated towards that, did you start doing gang activity or like?
Yeah. I was laced up by a lot of one of my mentors, that took me under the his wing, that seen me as a like a son, and laced me up and taught me a lot of things that I was blessed in a sense, because that helped me down the line, and until now it helped me also how to read people, the definition from a throwaway to somebody that's an asset, even in that environment, there's throwaways, whether he's considered your homeboy or not, there's some people that are going to be, throwaways, and there's other people that bring value to the table. That's just the fact that the matter is, somebody has to take that, that downfall, so I seen that, I mean, it's the sad part,
Yeah.
I seen that area of betrayal, manipulating people, persuaders, knowing how to, get people to do shit, how to manipulate people in the wrong way.
Yeah.
All that shit that was taught to me, and as I seen it and watched it and learned it, I became, someone that, was well laced and groomed, not a lot of people get that opportunity, to have, a mentor or somebody, an older OG lace you up at that level, of intelligence in the streets.
So that lifestyle shaped your mindset early on, right?
It did that. And, what I seen on this side, I didn't really want to be part of it, with what was going on with my family, so I pretty much gravitated towards this side. And obviously, right off the back, it's kind of like that's where I picked up how to make money, how to be a hustler, bro. Like since a young age, and my mom has said it before, like once I was 11 years old, I was buying my own clothes, My mom didn't have the funds, she didn't have the money, so I went to school like just all messed up, man. No fucking old shoes, old clothes, and that played a big role, so kind of made me more like, fuck, man, like, people don't understand what that does to their child, especially the people that are out there just having kids.
Yeah.
And they can't even provide for them. They can't barely afford, to put put food on their table, let alone like, get them some pair of shoes, some clothes, especially when they hit junior high. That's where it all starts, A lot of these kids misbehaving, going down the wrong path, if the parent ain't there to be a provider and give them a rite of passage and the guidance needed, they start deviating from, the household, and picking up other bad habits and, being around other, bad influence,
Yeah. So what did that lifestyle really promise you? But what did it actually cost you?
Well, I seen it from at an early, age, I seen it that it wasn't going nowhere, that right there, everybody, it was it was good while it lasted until, either you got, or you got caught and went to prison, because that's pretty much what you were doing. You were rolling the dice. You were taking penitentiary chances, so like I said, before, I did all my, my teenage years in the youth authority, so my shit ended real quick where I started pretty much hating it, I'm like, fuck, man, I ain't trying to, I hustle and I was trying to get my shit together and that shit got taken away from me real quick, once I started dipping into the, getting high on my own supply, started slipping, being a wreck, harming a lot of people, in the process of that, and my mom wasn't down with that. So that's one of the things that, she helped me in that sense, because she was not there's a lot of moms out there that would want to, keep their kids, as friends, and they'll be like, nah, man, just, if you guys are going to drink and smoke a joint, do it in the pad, where I could see you, thinking that that's a good thing,
Right.
They're going to fucking protect you that way, Well, no, my mom was not that mom, she was like, we ain't having none of that shit here. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna do my best to get you, locked up. That's what she told me. I just can't deal with this. I have problems at home already, which I used to get my ass beat, my ass kicked for nothing, but that was her way to, of her getting her anger out, which, after a certain, at a certain point, it was like, fuck, whatever, just take that beating, I just wanted to go fucking to the pad and crash out,
Right.
Coming home at fucking late hours and just being a mess, but being a bad example for my brothers, And, as soon as she had a chance and she got my stash, that's pretty much, it was a wrap for me. After that, it's like, she told my PO, okay, now could you, take them in? She had pretty much everything. She had money, phones. I had the old phones back then, when they're barely coming out, those big old Motorola phones.
Bricks?
Yeah, those bricks. I had two of them bad boys. I had money. I had fucking the Crondo there, and she found it in my brother's room. And I didn't know she had found it. They picked me up from high school. I was in high school. I only went to high school for 3 months. And all of a sudden, they called me to the office, and I went there. They were waiting for me there. Hey, you're coming with us. And I was like, what the fuck? What did I do? I didn't know.
Yeah.
I went straight to juvenile hall, I didn't know nothing. I was like, they weren't telling me nothing. They didn't explain to me nothing until court day a month later. And I thought, I was like, fuck, I didn't do nothing. I'm going to get out. Like, everybody in there was supposedly knew what was going to happen to me. Oh, man, first time, like, man, you're going to go home slapping her. Nope. Not because they had found a lot of, illegal shit. Oh, no, you're going to do some time, man. We're going to max you out.
Yeah.
And from there, it was just the domino effect, because once I got out, they glorify that shit. They pump you up. Your friends, they see you different now, So now, while you're in there, you're thinking, no, I'm not going to do this shit. Fuck that. I just want to be home and have a home-cooked meal. Like, this is for the birds. Fuck that. This is what was going around in my head. Once I fucking got out, they were there the next day already. Like, I didn't call them. They were just there already, pick me up. Hey, let's roll, man. It was just like, it's a repeating cycle. Like, what the fuck? Like, in my head, I was like, damn, man, how they know I was out?
Yeah.
But they pulled up, I still remember to this day. And that fucking day, I didn't come home. Violation. So now I was out there living in the streets. Because I was like, fuck, man. I was like, just, what the fuck did I do,
Was that the moment you realized, like, that life wasn't for you, or wasn't suitable?
Well, I was already like I wanted things, I wanted a lady, which, I hadn't had a lady, because I wasn't out. Once I went to high school, when I went to high school, I was like, damn, this is dope right here, man. Like, you started to see different. I used to go to high school because I didn't want to be home. That was like my outlet. High school, I didn't go to study. I want to go over there bullshit and slang some fucking some dimes and some 20s. I'm like, I'm gonna make money here. But that didn't last. And like I said, I wasn't able to go to high school. No more. I was done. And pretty much that's what kind of like made me think. And then the second time I went in, there was pretty much like. They pretty much said like, okay, well, next time you're already older, like you're 17 already, like you're gonna go to the big house, so this is like your last chance right here. You're going to the youth authority, we're gonna keep you there. And they were kind of undecided because I was 17, but it was pity shit, so they couldn't put me in county. So that's when I was like, man, that's it, man, I'm done. And I went everywhere, bro, and even there's a lot of racial shit going on in there. That's another thing that you had to put up with. Idiots, man.
Yeah.
A lot of idiots, bro. Not even like dealing with like enemies. You're dealing with like other races, and it's the mess. It's just whoever doesn't want you or who like you or whoever wants to get down that day, you're gonna get them up. That's it. And either you're a punk or you're gonna stand up for yourself. That's it. And it's sad to say there's a lot of people that were punked around.
Yeah. What was one of the lowest points that you within that season of your life?
Well, it was just pretty much like when I was just like I was getting deep into crystal meth. That's pretty much what took me down. Because I worked out. I was like, in a sense, like taking care of myself because I always loved working out, Not that I knew, but I at least went to the gym. I boxed. My mentor, the homie that laced me up, he wanted me to be up to par, He was grooming me to be like on point, Obviously, he had an agenda, but after they got him that, obviously he passed away, And that's pretty much when it went downhill. That's pretty much what kind of did it, what made me like sloppy, because now I was rolling around with the younger crew, and it was kind of like I didn't have nobody to like kind of like check me in a sense, and he used to check me like, hey man, like don't be fucking a guinea pig, man. Like, come on, man, like, cut yourself, above the rest, you're cut above the rest. Know that, like, but like rolling with the homies, it was different,
Yeah.
Because we were just like roll and just fuck around,
So was this mentor like a father figure to you? Did you have your father in the picture?
No, I didn't. No, I never knew who my dad was. My dad left, and my stepdad, that's the man that raised me, okay. that was raising me, with
But you gravitated towards the OG.
Yeah, because he was our neighbor, And when I went to school, the homie that used to go there and kick it, obviously they were, from the neighborhood, and he knew I was his neighbor, And he was always he looked out for me a lot, bro. I remember one day specifically, bro, this fucking idiot when I was playing outside. I was young because when I met, I was about 10 years old. I was playing outside. I don't know what I was doing. And my brother was out there too with me. And this psycho, like fucking big ass motherfucker just came. Like he was like all tweaked out, He was like, give me some water, And I had the hose. We're like playing, like just playing with the water, like waiting ourselves. It was hot, And my brother ran inside, and then my mom fucking like, I was like, what the fuck? He's like yelling from like maybe like 10 feet, Big old fool, like just. And my brother went inside, and my mom shut the door, and locked it. And I was like, what the fuck, And I'm out here. This probably like, he's like fucking like coming at me. And then the homie heard, he jumped the fence. He's like, what's up, man? And he fucking checked them that day. Like, I seen that. Oh. So that shit, like, it was impressive to me. I was like, damn, the homie just straight, he looked out for me, He fucking got the hose and fucking just smacked them. That fool just like didn't know what to do, Just fucking started walking away, And ever since then, I was like, kind of like impressed by that, It gives me a chill. I remember that day. And I remember how my mom I was like, what the fuck? Like, what about me?
You left me out on that.
Yeah, I don't know if she meant it, but she, once my brother was in there, like, she fucking locked the door. And I was like, what the fuck? Like I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
but they were always out there. So yeah, I remember he just fucking hopped the fence. He was well respected, you know. Yeah. So homie got checked that day, you know.
Yeah. So did you ever feel like you couldn't escape that environment?
You know what? I knew that, you know, I had to be, you know, strategic about doing that, you know, because you can't just walk away like that. You want to have a solid name,
right.
And my name is reputable, you know. But the thing about it is that, you know what, just the people that I hung around with, you know, and how I moved and what they know, and there's ways, you know. There's ways of wheeling around there and doing it, you know, in a respectful manner, you know.
Yeah.
Obviously, when you're gonna do such a thing like that, you can't be, you know, playing two sides of the fence too either, you know. Like, what is it, man? You know?
Yeah.
And it was until, you know, I came out, and pretty much what really helped me more was my lady's dad, because he was another OG. So I always been blessed with like older homies. Yeah, like older men that I actually like got a good reputable name that took me under their wing. Because if there was any situation, they'll vouch for me, you know? And a lot of people don't have that.
Yeah.
You know, you end up in a fucking wreck trying to do something stupid like that, or just, you know, thinking that you're going to come and go as you please, and, you know, and get away from shit that you got to do, you know, if you're in the game, you know, if you're with the business, you know, and that's pretty much what helped me.
Yeah.
The second time when my homie obviously got, you know, they got him, you know, over jealousy and envy, and, you know, and I learned that sometimes, you know, your own people, you know, do that, you know. So I seen all that.
You see it nowadays, in the cartels, man.
Yeah, it's just, bro, like, you don't last. As soon as you're fucking up, yes, it's a doggy dog world, bro. So I seen it at a young age, and it's just, it was a big disappointment, you know, because, you know, in our reality, like, you know, nobody really has your back, man, you know, and that's just facts.
Yeah.
And that's why all that helped me, though, because I helped a lot of youngsters now, you know, see the big picture.
Right.
You know, and I don't tell them how to live their life, but I tell them that there is a better way, you know, if you want things, you know, if you want a nice car, if you want a house, if you want a family, if you want to, have things, you know, because that's what these youngsters strive for, you know. That's why they start hustling. That's why they start getting.
And that's one of the things they push, right? Is about brotherhood, but it doesn't really mean to them.
Well, that's just, I mean, you use certain tactics, you know, to make you feel like, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? You know, persuaders, man. I learned all that shit, you know. That's just something that, you know, it's a skill, you know, that, you know, people use to rail you in, you know, and like smooth operators, man, and they have a mouthpiece. Next thing you know, you're on a mission with them, you know, like that. You're like, what am I doing here?
Influences.
Hey, big time, you know, but they're good at that, you know.
Yeah.
There's the leaders that are going to be there to help you and ride with you and grind with you, and then the other ones that are just going to manipulate you and pretty much put you in a predicament, you know, which they know, but they don't give a fuck. But they, you know, it's something that, you know, we gotta understand that, you know, in our reality, you know, in this life, you know, everybody's, you know, about themselves, you know. At the end of the day, when you're like in the streets and trying to come up, right. You know, like, bro, everybody's trying to come up and trying to find that next thing, you know, to
level up,
to level up and be an asset in that area, you know, earn your stripes, you know, at all costs, you know. Whether if you got to throw you under the bus, you know. What about brotherhood? What about the, you know, the homies? You know, the unity.
Yeah.
There's no unity.
It goes out the window.
Big time. You make the rules as you go.
So who or what became your turning point? After, was it
last time I was property of the state, 96. When I got out, I said, that's it, man. I got to do something. I got to buckle down. I said this to myself, you know, and
96?
Yeah, 96. So I got a job working at a warehouse. You know, that was my first thing, you know, I'm going to get a job, stay busy.
Right.
You know, right off the back, I was like, I got to stay busy, you know, fuck all this bullshit. You know, I got a job, you know, working at a warehouse. I used to ride my bike over there or take the bus sometimes. And because I didn't have nothing no more. And just work my way back up. Then I tried to go to adult school to get my GED because I never graduated and I don't have a GED. And but I was already fuck, man, this is like, I ain't trying to be here, you know? Like, right. I was like, school was not for me. And I met my lady sister, which, you know, I met her in high school. And I told her, hey, you know what? Hook me up with one of your friends. You know, I just was going in there for that. I'm like, you know, I got to find a partner, you know. And she's like, what about my sister? You know, I'll hook you up with my sister. I go, who's your sister? Let me see, you know. Yeah. Show me a picture. I go, okay, hook it up, man, you know. And, but I was already saving up, you know. And like I said, it took a while. And then I had a car already, you know. So when I did that move, I already had at least, you know, a car so I could pull up with the car, you know.
Right.
And I had already my savings. So I was already moving pretty quick, you know, stacking my little chips and shit. And first I did is buy a car because I wasn't going to get caught slipping, fucking riding my bike or going in the bus, you know, because I had to go from one city to the other city, you know. So, yeah, I did that. And then when I met her, it was a wrap, you know. Right. Yeah, it was a wrap because I know what I wanted and she knew what she wanted already too.
By that time, your mind was different. Your the way you were thinking.
Yeah. I was already like kind of like done with all this shit. Like I already knew that, you know, I fuck up one more time, I'm pretty much like done, you know. Yeah. You're gonna fucking do upstate time, you know.
Did you ever see yourself like a victim? Use the victim mentality?
No, because, you know, I knew what I was doing, you know, and like I said, like I never used like pointed fingers. I never used like my upbringing as an excuse, you know, because I learned at an early age also that, you know what, you know, and this is one thing that my aunt told me and that I'll never forget, you know, because when I was younger, like 10, you know, when they actually told me that was not my dad, that was another, you know, news they hit me when I was 10. I thought he was my dad. He was not my dad. So she just said, you know what? I know you're going through all this, mijo, and your mom. We tell her like, hey, you know, just stop hitting him, you know, for nothing. Like you're just taking your anger on him. Like, what did he do? Like, cause they seen that because they were living with us, you know. And she was like, don't tell me what to do, whatever. So they kind of like, she's the oldest, you know, but she's all understand, you know, that she had a rough life. You know, so I started seeing and more understanding later on, like, you know, it's like, well, I mean, what do you expect, you know, when, you know, she was treated that way, you know, when she was worse, when she was little by my grandpa that, you know, I seen him like a father figure that I love dearly. He was a mean man, you know, and she didn't have a childhood. She had to work at a young age, and especially in Mexico, bro. Like, fuck, bro, we don't live in the city. We live in the fucking hills, you know. We're fucking, fuck, you go shit outside, you know. There are no restrooms there. We had no windows. That's where I grew up. My grandma, you know, she's the one that delivered me. My great grandma. I didn't go to no hospital, you know. That's where I come from, you know. Straight up, like, you know, not even the city, you know, or say El Rancho, El Cerro, whatever they call it. Cerro, we're like, yeah, straight up. That's where I come from, or straight up, you know. But I'm proud of that, you know.
A Guerrero style, right?
Yeah, straight up, straight Guerrero style.
Is that where the name came from?
It came from because my dad actually, when I started like digging deeper about, okay, well, where's my dad from? You know, he's from Guerrero.
Oh, he's from Guerrero?
Yeah, he's from Guerrero. My mom's from Puebla. And my wife's dad's last name is Guerrero, so that's where you know it came up. But after he passed away, when I was actually looking for like a name for my brand, because I was Big Yo 13, that's what I had. I'm like, I can't run this shit. Big Yo 13 Fit. Everybody puts the fit in the end. Big Yo 13 Fit. Like, come on now. Like, I was looking for a name, and then my wife said, like, what? Use Guerrero. That's a strong name. You know, it has a good meaning behind it. And I go, all right, I'm gonna use that, I'm gonna put, I'm gonna do it, out of respect, for your pops, and put that name in the map. And that's what we did,
Cool, man.
It came from her. That was her idea. So everybody that doesn't know, that was her idea.
Guerrero is also in my family too.
Oh, it is?
Last name, yeah.
Oh, that's
My
dope.
grandma's side.
Oh,
But it means warrior.
it does. What is a warrior, a striver, a go-getter,
Yeah.
a provider, somebody that, defends his people, frontliner, it has a strong meaning,
So let's talk about some sacrifices that you had to make in order for you to switch over your mindset and your whole perspective of life when you're going through that new job and trying to find a partner.
Well, I mean, I just knew that I wanted more, that life was not for me. That shit was for the birds, I wanted a family. I wanted things, I wanted to, be someone, and everybody that I was around, they were like, they were not nobody that I would want to be like, they were not, to be honest,
That's true.
No, I wanted to fucking be somebody that fucking was, that had his shit together, so that's what made me, like really be a hustler and strive for like, what could I do, so after the warehouse, my homie's like, hey man, you know what, he was a truck driver, so he's like, hey man, like get your license. They don't do background checks. They don't give a shit, like they're not picky about that. They'll start you off at $15 an hour, like anywhere. I'm like, what? I was getting paid back then. I was minimum wage. I think it was $4 or something like that.
Yeah.
Back in the 90s.
Yeah, that was a wow.
Yeah. I've been in those, and then when you said that, I was like, what? Okay, so I started. That's another thing that I did. Another investment that I did. I started. It's funny because I was cleaning my shed 2 days ago and I found my certificate, El Monte Trucking, and I got my license, and then right away, I started, I'm like, damn, these guys, okay, they make better money. Back then, that was good money. I was bringing about $1,500 a week.
That's pretty good, yeah.
But you were out there, you had to fucking be out there, and pull some hours, because it's all about, hey man, making that money and drive. The wheels, they stop, you don't make money, you got to keep on rolling,
Yeah.
So that's pretty much what got me locked in. And then also, my lady, I was doing more things with her, like, man, going to the movies, having a relationship.
Busy, yeah.
Yes, it kept me busy, which I had the homies there, but I was kind of like too busy to like, I kind of like faded away,
Right.
And I still always like took care of them, like the ones that were close to me. I always broke them off. I always did, I remember, even their ladies used to get mad when they used to be like, damn, man, who is he, man, buying you this? I used to hook them up, on the strength, because I had it. They'd have the shoes and this and that, and I'll hook them up. But after a while, when I heard that comment, I'm like, screw it, man, I ain't getting you guys shit, man. You guys, your ladies are ungrateful,
Yeah.
But I was always like, a go-getter, I was not lazy. I was not scared to work.
The streets make you a hustler, man.
Yeah. Hey, but some though, not everybody, you just got to have it in you,
Yeah.
Some people like, fuck, bro, they just play the victim mentality, like, oh, everything happened to me, no, everything happened for me.
Right.
That's how I see it. Everything just made me stronger. Even when my mom came and apologized, and, recently that I talked to her last year, and she broke down and crying and told me sorry for, everything, that she did. I go, what happened is what made me. I go, I love you. You're my mom. You gave me life. Like, move past that. I'm past that, Because she was proud of me, because she sees me on YouTube, she sees me on Instagram, and people that she knows, they'll bring me up, and she's like, yeah, it's my son,
Yeah.
and that's she's proud of that, she's proud of that.
It's a good feeling for her, I bet.
Yeah, it is. She sees me on YouTube when I do my podcast, and she's like, even though she don't know English, but she's like, she's like, damn, like, I mean, I can't argue with you. Everything that you say in the podcast, I mean, it's true,
Yeah.
I even though things that we don't want to hear, but at least, people could relate with that, because that's what happened, and that's life, But we move past that, and I go, yeah, I'm glad. Because at the beginning, I thought they were going to be like, hey, man, what you putting our shit up? But my mom don't see it like that. You know, she's not
that's
once.
how breakthroughs happen, bro.
Yeah, she knows that because she's really religious. She's been a Jehovah's Witness for like 20 plus years. You know, and she knows that, you know, hey man, you know, he ain't lying. I mean, that's what happened, you know, and that was his life. And, you know, he, you know, I did do all those things, you know. I'm sorry. I apologize, you know. Forgive me. And like I said, like I'm past that, Mom, you know.
Yeah.
Like this is what made me. Everything that I went through, I use it till this day to help others, you know, change the way they think. Because once you change the way you think and the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
Right. So what habits and relationships did you have to cut off?
Well, it was pretty much just hanging around fucking people that weren't strivers, you know, people that just wanted to fucking party and drink. And because I still had that bad habit, you know, I was still drinking. I had a taper, you know, slowly, but that was like kind of something that I was not into drugs no more, because obviously as a truck driver, they drug test you. So that kept me in check, bro. Being a truck driver, bro, like you come back, piss test. Fuck. So you had to fucking be up to par. I wasn't going to lose that job. I was not going to like jeopardize, you know, my fucking job and the money I was making for fucking, you know, so that kind of like, that was easy for me to drop. But, you know, I still had a few beers, you know, not that I was an alcoholic, because I never was, but I just drank it because it was there. And say, you know, I'll go visit you, and you know, like this is like a norm, you know, a habit that we have. Like, hey man, want a cold one? Sure, shoot it, you know.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's not because I was like, hey man, I need a fucking cold one. I'm fucking in so much pain. I wasn't fucking running to the alcohol because I was in pain or I had fucking issues, you know. I just fucking dealt with that shit, you know.
Yeah, it was just a habit.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. I wasn't running towards the like alcohol like most people do, like, oh, that was my outlet, my escape, and I drown my sorrows. That was not me, you know. That's why I really don't relate with them people that they'll cry and drink more and they fucking listen to oldies and, you know, cry more and be more sad. Yeah, like what the fuck? Get the fuck out of there, man. You know, the fucking mindset, like, man, you got a weak mindset by choice, man, you know?
Well, do you still see that? I mean, because you're in the lowrider scene.
Yeah.
Do you see that happening with grown men that are still in that mentality stage?
Oh, yeah, man. I go, come on, bro. Are you serious, man? Like, you're still with the broken heart, man? Like, snap out of that shit, man. I see that because I seen it with my uncles. I seen it with my family. So I see that, you know? It's like, bro, come on, man. Like, snap out of that shit, you know? Like, I listen to the oldies working out. They're like, I can't fucking listen to the oldies working out. That's how I do it. I use those motivational, like, you know, songs, you know, that are very, you know, like deep and that have emotion behind it towards like just building me, you know. They use it to like drown their sorrows even more, you know, and be more sad and be more hurt and broken. Yeah, even all these songs, they use it just to even dig themselves deeper in a fucking painful place, you know.
Yeah.
All those songs, I'll listen to them and I'll use it as like when I'm working out and just to uplift me. I don't use it in that sense. Like more people use it towards like even feeling more sad about, you know, because they got left, you know, or done dirt or whatever the hell they're running from, you know. Like that was not me, you know. So I don't really relate with them people that do that. It kind of like, you know, it's just it's comedy to me, man. Like it's like I fucking laugh at that shit, you know. When people use that shit to like, you know, master pain or, you know, it's like, fuck, bro. Like, I just trip out, man. But I guess that's also learned behavior, so I understand that, you know. Some people use it as an outlet, you know. Like, that's like my way of like coping and dealing with my pain that I have, you know.
Yeah.
My broken heart.
Was it hard for you to walk away from these people when you started hanging around with your wife or your girlfriend at the time, right?
Yeah. No, not really. Not really. Like I said, you know, because, you know, her pops was well known too, you know. So it's like almost like, damn, you know, we can't even say nothing. He's with homie, you know. If you have a good name, if you're reputable, you know, like people ain't gonna fucking say nothing. That's just it. That's just the fact of the matter is it's not what you know, it's who you know. You know, straight up. So call it lucky or whatever, but you know, it's like, you know, it's just sometimes it's like, hey, when you're rolling with me, nobody's gonna tell you nothing. That's just that, you know.
Yeah.
Or we're gonna have problems.
Yeah.
You know.
What was one of the biggest lessons that season taught you?
When I was like barely like
when you were running the streets with your neighbors and going in and out of Juvenile Hall.
Oh fuck, man! I learned a lot, man. That's a doggy dog world, you know. That all that shit's like it's the road to perdition, you know. That's where you're going, you know.
Yeah.
Down that path of like maybe no return, you know. Some people return and they're able to tell a story. They're able to like help people with, you know, what they went through. So it's good to tell your story of like, you know, of overcoming, but don't twist it and make it seem like it's something like to glorify. Yeah. That's what people get it all twisted when they do these podcasts, or they make it seem like it's fun. If it's like, oh, badass, like, bro, come on, man. Like, where is the overcoming of it? Okay, where is the learning that you got out of it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, well, you forgot about that. Why? Because they still haven't left that level yet. They're barely, you know, walking out of that. They haven't done nothing yet still to say like, I learned from it. No, you're not busting no more. You just got out. But you told a cute story, you know?
Yeah.
That's it, straight up. Like, because what have you done from now moving forward?
It's too quick to speak, right? Sometimes.
Yeah, man. People they're just talking too quick, man. I mean, obviously, if you're there to tell your story and entertain people, then okay, fine. But I mean, I see it as like I'm gonna be doing I got invited to go talk to a men's group, and that's one of the topics that I'm gonna hit a lot, man. A lot of people are talking like too soon, man.
Yeah.
Because in order for you to have change in others, you have to do something, you know, that's gonna
you have a track record.
Yeah, it has to have an impact. Cause, bro, like that story. Okay, everybody has a story. Okay, yours is better than mine. Okay, you hurt more people than me. Wow. Okay, your story is tougher. Okay, I want to know what you did after that.
Right.
Okay, where's the wins at? Where's the wisdom extracted from it? Where's what you pull from it to better your life? Because now we want to see results. Because how are you going to change someone when they're going to be like, well, fuck, I got the same story, but I'm still broke, you know, physically, mentally, and financially. So your story is solid, it's valid. Okay, you left it behind, but you got to do something moving forward that's going to impact someone so they could change. And that's the sad part, because they haven't done that yet. So how could you get somebody to change when you haven't even changed? How could you help somebody that's broken financially when you're barely trying to, you know, get yourself together? How could you help somebody physically when you're still not there physically? You're not doing all the bad shit, all the fucking bullshit, but a lot of people, they haven't even done all that shit that you've done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's just it. That's what I just.
I think there's a lot of people that just hear the good news from others, and they want to just say it just because they want to say it and throw up whatever kind of like they fed off of. But like you said, they're
a lot of people do that on social media. That shit's running rampant. That's what I said last time. I go, a lot of you guys got to pump your brakes, you know? Yeah, because you guys are speaking beyond your years. You guys are talking and telling these grown adults, hey, man, you got to be disciplined. You got to be there for your family and be a man, be a leader, be a provider. And then we're listening to this guy. I'm like, bro, you don't even have a kid. Your biggest responsibility is to go feed your dog.
Yeah.
These guys ain't going to take you serious, bro. You haven't done much. You know, how are you going to change these grown men or even someone that's at your level? Like, bro, like, pump your brakes, man. Okay, if you got a transformation, which that they get... You know, they get driven by their own, you know, obviously transformation. You know, the physique gets a lot of people building that confidence, you know, but then they're wondering why they don't connect with people. They don't relate with people, because you got to just talk about what you've done, what you experienced, you know, what you have been through. Okay, all you got was a six-pack. Leave it as that. You know, teach that. You know, don't start talking about mindset when you're barely trying to get your mindset on point. Don't talk about spiritual emptiness where you're still lost, bro. Body is one thing, but the mind's still playing catch up.
Yeah.
That's where a lot of people they miss that. The body's on point, good job. The mind's still catching up, because guess what? Your mind's going to start playing tricks on you. everything's going to surface back up. Everything that you were running away from, that you left unattended while you were working on yourself, waking up early, feeling good, that wake up call, telling everybody, yeah, roll call. I'm it. Look at my oatmeal. Look at my workout. Okay, pump your brakes, man. We're going to see how long you're going to last and keep doing that shit and show up every day in, day out. Because once you get the results, then what?
They act like it's a finish line.
There is no finish line. That's what they don't get. That's where they start missing the next phase, the next level up, you know, facing everything else that they're still, you know, gotta deal with. You know, a lot of people, what is it? It could be finances. It could be still like they have a lot of mental issues, you know, and they wrestle with that. So where's the disconnect? What happened? You know, when I talk to a lot of my clients that are barely, you know, hopping on the team, I always get to like, I want to know more about them, you know? So I start asking these questions like, hey, man, how's the family going? And I don't go out there saying, I'm going to give you a breakthrough. Like, bro, like nobody's going to fucking give you nothing. And people don't even know how to give breakthroughs, you know? Like you should start conversating with the person, you know, hey, how you doing, man? How's the family? How's the finances? And you start like letting them talk, man, and listen. I listen. I want to see where all the pain points are coming from, you know? So I start reading people, you know, I see like, where is it? Where is the disconnect at, you know? Because if they're coming in for the macros and obviously they want the results, cool. I got you on that one, big dog. But guess what? That's not going to fucking come overnight. We got to work at that, you know? We got to work towards that. You know, so we got to work on, you know, like understanding that it's all about the process and that you know, you know that it's not going to be easy. You know, people make it seem like it's easy. You know, it's not, because when you're trying to change for the better, there's a lot of shit that's going to happen. So there's a lot of, you know, if you're just going to come in here for the result and the goal and you're just stuck to that, bro, you're going to have there's so many variables, you know? There's going to be people trying to derail you, your own people, your own spouse, you know, your wife.
Yes.
You know, hey, what are you going to the gym every day now? Who do you have there? Like, fuck, they start tripping. Yeah, that's something that you don't have coming, you know, that you don't think that shit's going to, you know, come until you actually like living it, you know, and they don't stop, bro. They start making assumptions and that throws you off your game, and then you're like doubting yourself. So you see what I'm saying? Yeah. So we got to find a deeper meaning. Effect. It is, big dog, you know, and a lot of people, bro, there's so much to like learn still. There's so much to like be a, you know, I call it, you know, having that strong witness, you know, always, you know, and remembering that, you know what, this is something that I got to keep on pushing regardless of what comes my way, because if I want them to change and hopefully they follow suit, I can't stop. I can't quit, because if I bend, you know, because of their insecurities or because of their assumptions, bro, there I go again, you know, repeating the same cycle. Yeah. I stopped because somebody else didn't approve of what I was doing, that I wanted that change because I feel like shit. It's about how you feel, not about how she feels. She feels like that because you created that. We created that.
The past, yeah.
Yeah, the past. That's something that you gotta fucking live with and deal with, you know? So you created that, so you gotta fucking have that patient understanding. And bro, it's gonna take a lot of communication with them.
And it takes time.
It does, big dog.
A lot of people are not patient. They want quick results.
Well, I mean, we're in America, you know? In America right here, we've been conditioned to have everything, you know, like this, you know? You want something, hey man, you're gonna go, you know, do whatever it takes to get it, you know? But when it comes to like changing, you know, mentally, physically, spiritually, that's a whole nother level. That's going to take some time. That's going to take some awareness. That's going to take some, you know, adversity. That's going to take a lot of emotions and feelings that are going to come into, you know, into play. You're going to have to build that discipline little by little, because it's going to take discipline, that consistency needed. And the biggest part is having somebody in your corner to hold you accountable. Because if you're just trying to do it on your own, believe me, bro, you'll tap. A lot of people tap. That's why, you know, we're like, you know, I was 38 years old till I said, fuck, bro, I've been trying to do this shit. But why is it that we always give up? So our mind overpowers, what we got to do regardless of what gets in our way. And there's nobody to reassure us that. There's nobody to hold us accountable. We hold ourselves accountable, but fuck, bro, we're weak-minded,
Exactly. So your wife played a big role in your change.
Mm-hmm.
How important is to have a partner that'll hold you down and build you up at the same time?
Oh, it's
very push you.
It's very important, because like I said, I don't care how big and bad and how much of a killer you are. A female will make you or break you. I've seen the best of the best fall over a female. So a female plays a big role, Your partner plays a big role of how far you're going to go. Because guess what? A lot of times, that's where I started seeing like, okay, what's the issue here, man? Because there's a lot of people that are successful,
but their marriage is horrible.
But their marriage is or they just don't. They're divorced already, and that's what
I see that on social media. Right
yes,
now.
Big time, bro. Like, okay, this guy has the body, and he has the finances on point, but behind closed doors, his marriage is fucking falling apart, big dog, falling apart, and you see it through social media. It's like you see that. People see that shit. They think they could hide, but you see it in their face. They put on a mask, they put up a front, It's the image that we created on social media, and when shit's happening behind doors, you can't hide it,
You can see it.
Right?
See by their actions.
Absolutely, G, straight up. That's another thing. Like, so I was like, where's the fucking disconnect? Why is this happening,
Mm-hmm.
I needed to dig deeper into that. And I always ask my mentor, like, what? Hey, why is it that, there's a lot of people that I know that took it to a level that I want to take it, but throughout that journey that they took and whatever they had to do to get there, fuck, bro, like they have no family no more. So isn't this why we're doing this for? For us to rise together, right? That's a good question. That's a very good question. Because when you're after your goal, obviously, our purpose, our reason why. We always say, my reason why. And we're always, my family, my kids. That's our reason why, But you're right, you hear that all the time, bro. These fucking, like, sometimes social media, I hear everybody like, fuck, but yeah, my reason why. Like, okay, down the road, it's like, fuck happened. Yeah. But they're still going, because they lose themselves, They go after the shiny object regardless of who fucking gets left behind. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, they get obsessed.
That's what it is.
Not having a strong foundation is
well, the foundation was weak, Well,
it's God too.
Yeah, because look at they created the physique, which that's the Kickstarter. So they build confidence, Then the mindset, okay, they have that mindset to go after it and go get it. But what's the third pillar? Your soul, your intentions, the spiritual aspect of it, And when it's spiritual, there's no external thing that could cure that, Spiritual is like, being your authentic self, right? Mm-hmm. And that, what is that, connects with family.
But see, people force it too. They force themselves to call on the name of, say God here, God there, but then they're you said it earlier, their intentions are off.
Oh yeah, bro, I see that all the time, man. And that's another thing that, a lot of people, like, look at, this is what happens with a lot of people, like there's some people that know the Bible like the back of the hand, like verses left and right. But knowing and becoming are two different things, big dog, Just because you know some shit, you still got to become it. And that's through the duration of time of application on what you just read and what you're studying, Being in alignment with what you're talking about and what you're preaching. Because anybody could come here and talk about God and saying like, oh man, I'm a man of faith and all this, but your life shows otherwise, Mm-hmm. Who are you fooling here, Like everybody could put up. It's like even people that that are trying to heal. They read these books. They seek that information. They know how to heal through and through, on paper.
Yeah.
But guess what? you still got to apply that. You still got to live it. You still got to face all that shit that you don't want to face. So that healing hasn't started. So that's what tricks people into thinking that they're healed just because they read some shit. Just same thing with everything in life. Just because you read some shit and you know some shit doesn't mean that. It's like information and transformation is two fucking different things. And that's what we got to be honest about, what we're fucking doing and what we're saying.
Yeah. So your program here, let's talk about your program. You create, it's almost like a discipleship, right? You're creating other disciples.
Yes. I don't want followers. I'm creating leaders, man. People that are going to branch out and create their own community and guide their people and stick to the plan, bro. Not to come in here in a 90-day transformation and then go back to their old ways because they didn't address the other issues. They didn't get the mindset right. They didn't attack the spiritual side, letting go of all that bullshit, all that trauma, all that resentment, all that hurt, all that guilt.
Yeah.
That's what's holding them back, because that shit's going to come back. Bro, the results of like your aesthetics, that's the beginning stage. That's baby level. Everybody's like striving to, be that. But I learned that, okay, that's part of it.
Yeah.
Once you're grown and you know more and you dig deeper into these personal development and, how to, be in alignment with, the three pillars that we call mind, body, and soul.
It's deeper.
Yeah. We go deeper into that. And that's what intrigues me. That's what, I started digging deeper into, like, where's the disconnect at, I need to know that because I need the answers. And this is what I tell my people when I have Zoom call Saturday and Sunday. We got a full house. Everybody's there. And this is the teachings that I, give them. That's besides all the investments that I did, on coaching, on knowing more about personal development. I'll go over there and fucking just let it all out.
Yeah.
And they're like, fuck, bro, like, I feel different. That's what I want. Not just, on the exterior, but internally. That's what I want. To build that warrior from inside out. Not just appear it, just become it. Because being and becoming is same shit, like people, like, they could pretend, us put on a mask, put that mask on and fuck, you fool us, you could fool us, like the people that I don't know, like, damn, looks like he has his shit together. Yeah, he's here one week and not the other, but fuck, I don't know. But he takes the breaks, That warrior takes breaks.
So you have your program on Saturdays and Sundays. You have a Zoom call.
Yeah, Zoom call. That's very important. That right there is like clutch, man. That's what keeps us grounded. It keeps people like on point. Those are reminders. That's where we break a lot of these topics, that I talk about.
Yeah.
It's all personal development, knowing your true self, finding your true self, finding your true purpose, of life, of what you want, not what I have and what I created. No, what do you want?
Yeah.
Because social media tricks a lot of people on like when you start looking at social media, almost like if you're the guinea pig, bro, like you're gonna think your life suck because everybody's fucking showing the best of the best. Yeah. And it fucking makes you think like, fuck, bro, I ain't doing enough.
Yeah.
Fuck, man, my life fucking suck. No, your life ain't suck, man. Value your life, man. But what is it that you want? Not what that person, no, what do you want? You don't stop and ask yourself, like, we're always falling to like, well, he got that, I'm gonna go get that, But do you really want that? Or is it because he has it? What is it? Because say he wasn't like, say social media didn't exist it. What is it that you want? No, we've been fooled and we get like conditioned to try to appear, someone we ain't, And it's by like, fuck, if you come out and damn, you look proper, you look on point, like, fuck, I'm going to get that too.
Yeah.
And then when you do, and if you do have it and get it, fuck, I didn't really want this shit, And fuck, now I got it. See what I'm saying? Like, people don't stop and see, like, no, what is it that you want? I know what I want. My vision,
Yeah.
And I show it. My family, I could go anywhere I want,
Yeah,
create those memories.
I seen you with your family. Well, I met your wife. You know, she looks like she's a real down to earth person that she grounds you.
Yeah, and she's been through a lot, so she's a strong warrior. You know, she lost both of her parents, you know, her pops and then her mom last year. So she's going through a lot, but you know, she's there supporting still, and I'm there, like, you know, and I'm thankful and grateful that I'm in a position where, like, you know, we could go if she wants to go to the beach because she's feeling a little bit, you know, that's her place that she likes to go. We'll row, you know, and. I'm in a position that I'm able to do that, you know.
And that right there, that's success. Having a close family, that's the beauty of being successful.
That's my definition of success.
Yeah.
Whether somebody might not think so, somebody might be like, "Fuck, well, my success is like I want to have this car," you know, or like this is something specific. And I even got that already too.
Yeah.
You know, I showed that like, when was it, in 2022 when I was like that was one of my things too, one of my goals, because we have to set ourselves with goals.
What, the Impala?
No, my Escalade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Escalade that I got. I always wanted a Cadillac because I seen that when I was growing up. Yeah, the lowrider was one of them, but I wanted that Caddy, bro. Like, I always wanted one because I seen that Mercedes-Benz. I seen all those cars like coming in and out of that pad, you know, like, and I'm like, fuck, what do you got to do to get that? Fucking push some weight. I'm like, fuck, so you're taking penitentiary chances.
Yeah.
Now I could show the youngsters and I could show others, nah, you don't got to do that, man. We could do that by becoming the 10.0 self. I could show you how to do it. And I done it already. You know, I got a couple of my team members that are about to buy a pad. How fucking crazy is that? That's fucking fire, man, because I passed that on, that knowledge, that wisdom that they needed, that belief that, bro, I could tell you how to get that. Because I had it already, you know, I got it. So I could show you, you know, what I know, you know, what I did. And it's just a matter of time, G. Like, that's a universal law. It's a universal principle. What you put out there, you will get. Just don't quit.
Yeah. So I'm gonna backtrack it a little bit. You mentioned your neighbor. He was implementing a lot of things in you, right? Mm-hmm. But what was one of the bad habits that you noticed that he had that he couldn't break through?
Oh, well,
that
fuck.
If it happened, that he would have been a better person.
Oh, well, shit, man. It's just the environment, big dog, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, pushing, you know, when you push, I mean, regardless of how you see it or how anybody sees it, like, you can't have a successful life or it could only last so long if you're pushing harm on others, you know? And that's like, you know, any type of like substances, you know? Like you can't capitalize from that. Might be for the meanwhile, but you know what's coming, you know? A lot of people, you know, that I seen, they were either, you know, fuck, man, like addicts of their own stuff that they were pushing at one point, you know, because they started using. So they created that, you know, it's something that they got themselves there, you know, at a certain point, whatever happened,
right.
They started using, you know, but they reached a certain level because they were pushing big weight, you know. It doesn't end well, you know. So I seen that, you know. No money that you get by, you know, destroying somebody else's life.
There's no return in it.
It's going to give you, like, you know, that inner peace.
Yeah.
There's not, big dog, you know? You're going to get it, you know? It's just a matter of time. And I seen it. Either you got crack and you went and did some serious time, because obviously those are big players, or, wow, bro, you got fucking trapped in your own fucking, like, bad habits of using your own stuff, you know? Yeah,
I know. And you're doing similar work, but completely opposite of him, because you're mentoring others.
Well,
right?
I mean, going from dope dealers, now hope healers, you know?
That's a good one.
Yeah, we changed it to be, you know, hope healers. Now give people hope, you know?
Yeah.
You know, there's a better way now.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what, you know, I learned from him.
Because a lot of your guys are raza, right?
Yeah, yeah. I got people that are in prison that are on my program. My best transformation was done in a level 4 yard.
Oh, wow.
In prison, you know. I help people down there too better themselves. And like I tell people, like, I'm not here to tell you how to live your life, but I'm here to tell you that, look, you could look good, feel good, and start taking care of yourself, man, because that's the start.
Yeah.
You
Even
know?
in that environment, right?
Yeah, exactly. Bro, don't be a throwaway. Don't be a liability.
Don't be a victim to your environment.
No. Be an asset. You got to be an asset. Stand out.
Yeah.
You know, and that's all I'm trying to push, you know? I'm not trying to judge nobody, you know, because I've been there.
Yeah.
You know?
How long you been in this game?
The fitness?
Yeah.
Going on 6.5 years since I came out and said to the world, like, I'm going to do this. And I haven't stopped ever since, you know?
You're one of the OGs in this
I'm the
too,
first
right?
one.
Yeah.
I'm the first one, the first Chicano. Yep.
Yeah.
And my boy that, you know, my mentor that, you know, my coach that I asked to give me the blueprint so I could do the same like he was doing, he put it out there, you know, I was the first one that cracked this off.
Yeah.
You know, he co-signed on that. He said it.
Yeah.
But I know I did, nobody asked him, you know, and when I told him that, he was like, damn, there is no Chicano, no homie doing that. Fuck it, you know, do that shit, you know?
Yeah, I heard him say that too.
Yeah. Everybody that hits me with that, they're like, yeah, I heard him say that. It is true. I was the one that, you know, kind of like, and almost like gave him another string of income. Because, you know, he didn't know. He was like, oh, shit, this is another string of income. I'll fucking make money doing this, helping people, help others, and make money. You know, helping others, your passion, you know. But everybody goes with like they go with the mentality that you're going to come and fucking like overnight, you're going to be like balling and rolling on fucking like, you know, these fucking crazy whips that they put out there. Now it's like, bro, it's a mess sometimes, bro. They trick you into believing all this shit. And it takes
it's
a
almost
lot.
it's almost like at first it was good, right? When you started, but now it's just like there's unauthentic people doing it.
Yeah, but people got to do their research too, man. Because I'm like, bro, like I get some people who are like, oh, I just wanted to make sure it's you, because they actually talk to me. Like, they don't talk to nobody else. They're like, fuck, it is you. Like, yeah, like, what do you mean? Like, oh, yeah, because I signed up here and I didn't even talk to the guy that I was supposed to, you know, coach me. I thought he was going to coach me. I thought somebody else. And then I got burned because they didn't come. Like, bro, like, you guys got to do your research too, man. Like, you know, I mean, if you guys going to fall for it, like, can you guys look at that coach, do your homework? Where's the transformations? Where's the testimonials? Where's the results? Is that the kind of life you want, the one that he has? What are his values, you know? What are his morals, you know? No, you guys fucking go like, they get all hyped up real quick too. Like the shiny object that everybody like goes after.
Shiny object syndrome.
Yeah, yeah, there you go. Yeah, I'm going for that. That guy's big. I'm going to be like him. And then I'm like, bro, that's not even your race. Like, how are you going to get, no, we're going to create the best you.
Yeah.
You're not going to be like him. No, you're going to be the best you. And they're like, I want to be like this guy. Bro, like, first of all, he's not our race, you know, so you're going to be the best you.
Because genetics matter, right?
Well, I mean, genetics to a certain point, but come on, I trump genetics. When people say like, oh, it's genetics, like, no, genetically you're weak. You know, how about that? You know, like, let's wake up. You just got to work harder. That's a different thing, because the only thing that I see, you know, where genetic plays a part, and people are like, oh, that's fucking fucked up there. I'm like, yeah, the only thing is going to be, are you going to half-ass the gym? Are you going to track your food like you should? Or are you going to be weak-minded and just half-ass everything? That's genetics. You're genetically weak then, you know, but you don't got to be there, you know?
Yeah.
That's the only genetics that I see, because there's a lot of us that trump that. There's no genetics like, oh, man, like, I can't get like that guy. Like, no, you're going to get like you, but you're going to be fucking feeling good about how you're going to be. Believe that.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, right on, man. What would you say to somebody that wants a transformation, and where can they reach you at?
Stop sitting in the sidelines, man. Hop on the team Guerrero Fitness. You guys know what time it is. This is more than just macros and fitness. This is about personal development at a whole nother level. You know, so on Instagram, I'm Guerrero_fitness. Go to my YouTube channel. That's Guerrero Fitness Lifestyle. TikTok, I'm on there too. Guerrero Fitness. And that's pretty much it, man.
Oh, well, it's been a pleasure, man, to have you here.
Thank you.
Dropped some gold and some solid stuff. So
Yeah, man, we're flowing, man. But there's a lot, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, we should flow with it.
I let it go, man, because I didn't want to ask the questions, and it went good.
Yeah,
So,
no, you had solid questions, man, but that's solid, man. I hope it helps people realize and wake up, and the switch goes on, man. Because look at, if one person did it, we could all do it, man. There's a lot of people that are breaking barriers, limiting beliefs, and give yourself that chance, drop that fucking fear that everybody's in, fear and doubt and uncertainty of man, can I do that? Of course you can. It's going to take some work, and that's what people are afraid of, work.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Yeah.
4-letter word.
Yeah. Straight up, G. Yeah.
Well, awesome, man. Thank you so much for being here. It's a pleasure.
Oh, man, always, man. Appreciate you. This was solid, man.
Yeah.
Liked it.
Yeah.
Liked it. We flowed, man. We were flowing solid.
So cool. So thanks for tuning into Hands, Heart, and Hustle. If this conversation with Guerrero Fit spoke to you, take a moment to reflect, subscribe, and share it with somebody who needs to hear it. Until next time, keep your hands working, your heart aligned, and your hustle growing with purpose.
The greatest gift that I got is grit. Brazilian, I don't know how to quit. And I don't know what it is. You can call it innate, call it what you want, I'm calling it.